The Thorns of Blackmoor Hall. They say Blackmoor Hall drinks the sorrow of the living. It was not simply the fog that made it hard to breathe as Isolde Grey stepped through the rusted gates. Something thick and ancient lingered in the air, a memory, a curse, or perhaps both. She had inherited the place after the death of her estranged uncle, a recluse whose name was seldom spoken in polite company. But inheritance, she believed, was fate's bargain. No one receives without giving something in return. The carriage disappeared into the mist behind her, hooves vanishing like ghosts swallowed whole. Only the sound of her boots crunching dead leaves broke the silence. Ivy strangled the stones of the hall, its spires piercing the gray sky like accusing fingers. The Black Rose Garden, once famed across Yorkshire, lay overgrown and choked with thorns. She did not remember the place, though she had been here once as a child. That visit ended in screaming, though no one would ever tell her why. Inside, the hall greeted her with silence. The fireplace in the grand vestibule was still warm, though the caretaker was nowhere in sight. Portraits lined the walls, her ancestors, grim-faced and cloaked in shadow. But one painting was unfamiliar. A man in mourning black, standing in the thorns of the rose garden. His eyes were the color of iron, and his gaze met hers with such intensity she took a step back. Below it, a small bronze plaque read, "Lord Thorn Blackmoor, 1791, may his vigil never end." Isolde's breath hitched. That night, the wind howled against the windows like a wolf denied its prey. Isolde found herself wandering the halls, candle in hand. Sleep refused her, for every creaking floorboard seemed to whisper her name. In the east wing, a locked door drew her near. Unlike the others, it was draped in velvet curtains, sealed with an iron chain. Her fingers grazed the cold metal. "You shouldn't be here," a voice said. She turned sharply, candle trembling. A man stood behind her, tall, clothed in an elegant black coat, silver embroidery lining the cuffs. His face was pale, but beautiful in a ruinous way, like a statue abandoned in a crypt. His eyes, they were the same as in the painting. She faltered. "Who are you?" The man tilted his head. "I might ask you the same." "I'm Isolde Grey. This is my family's home." His eyes narrowed slightly. "You carry the name, yes, but the house has not welcomed a Grey in decades." She looked back to the painting. "You're Lord Thorn?" "I was. Once." His voice was low, rough with dust and dreams. "Are you a ghost?" He smiled faintly. "A prisoner. Not all who linger are dead." Over the following days, Thorn appeared again and again, in the library, in the garden, beside her mirror at dusk. He spoke little of his past, but his eyes held a sorrow deeper than any grave. He told her stories of the house, of laughter turned to silence, of a curse spun from betrayal. Blackmoor had been built by love, he said, and doomed by it. I once loved someone who betrayed everything I was, he confessed one evening. She sought power, and in doing so, bound me to this place. I've not stepped beyond its grounds in over 200 years. Who was she? Isolde asked. He hesitated. A grey. The weight of the name wrapped around her like a noose. One night, thunder split the sky, and the roses in the garden bloomed black as pitch. Thorns stood in the rain, unmoving, as if waiting for something or someone. Isolde joined him. What binds you here? He turned toward her, rain streaking his pale skin like tears. Blood. A vow broken beneath the moon. The air thickened. She touched his hand. It was cold, but not lifeless, and in that moment she felt something stir within her, a memory not her own. A flash of a woman's face, eyes wild with envy. A scream, blood in the soil. Her own bloodline had cursed him. Then let me break it, she whispered. Let me be the one to set you free. His gaze softened, but there was sorrow in it. The price may be more than you can give. I don't care. You should. That night, Isolde dreamed of fire, of a woman dancing in the flames, her mouth sewn shut with thorns. The woman turned, and it was her own face she saw, twisted in agony. She awoke in the east wing before the velvet-covered door. The chain had fallen. The lock was open. Inside was a room untouched by time. Candles burned, though no one had lit them. On the floor, drawn in ashen salt, was a circle of binding. At its center lay a withered black rose. She stepped inside. Thorn was already there. This is where she bound me, he said. In this room, with this flower. He knelt beside the rose, touching it gently. It holds my soul. So long as it lives, I remain. Isolde looked to him. Then I must destroy it. But he caught her wrist. To destroy it is to unbind me, but also to awaken her. My curse keeps her trapped in the dark. If I am freed, she returns. Isolde trembled. Then what choice do we have? He looked at her, eyes full of centuries of grief. Love is the only key, he whispered. But it must be true and given freely. No magic, no bargains. Only love can rewrite what was once broken. She kissed him, and in that kiss time folded. The wind howled, The walls groaned. The rose withered to dust between their feet. And Thorn bled color for the first time in centuries. He gasped, collapsing, his heart reborn in his chest like thunder. Isolde held him as light filled the room, warm and golden and full of pain. But outside, something stirred. The roses in the garden bloomed red, and from the woods a figure stepped forward, a woman, her mouth sewn shut no more, eyes blazing with hatred. She was beautiful and monstrous. "You've brought her back," Thorns said, rising slowly, his hand still in Isolde's. The woman's voice echoed through the air, ancient and broken. "You chose her?" Isolde stepped forward. "I am not the woman you once were. I am her redemption." The spirit screamed. The glass in the hall shattered. Flames erupted from the fireplace, licking the walls. But Thorn held Isolde close, and together they faced the storm. When the sun rose, Blackmoor Hall still stood, but changed. The ivy fell away, the fog thinned, the halls echoed with light, not shadows. And in the garden, two figures walked hand in hand. One, once dead, the other reborn through love. The thorns had fallen, the curse had ended. But some say if you visit Blackmoor on a moonless night, you can still hear her voice, the one who was left behind, singing lullabies in the wind, waiting for another broken heart to walk the path of the rose.